Welcome to another Sky Career Talks. We are going to be exploring data careers today. And we have with us here with Shady, who is actually a dual alumnus at our school. He graduated with an ITI degree in 2019 and with an MI degree in 2020. And he is currently working as a logistics reporting analyst at Panasonic. Welcome, Shady. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how did you get there?
Awesome. So yeah, fresh out of Rutgers, as you guys can tell, 2019, 2020. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a background. Going back, I started at Rutgers as a freshman in 2015. I planned on majoring in computer science, and I quickly realized that even though I was good at it, it just wasn't really for me. It wasn't kind of the major where I felt like I was happy or comfortable. One of the courses that I took to fulfill a core requirement was ITI, or Intro to Information Technology and Informatics. And because of that class, I really found that that was the major that I wanted to go for. So I declared as an ITI major. A little bit after, I ended up deciding to double major in ITI and economics. While taking one of the ITI courses, I heard from a classmate about the Masters of Information, the 4+1 dual degree program. So I ended up applying and I was thankfully admitted. So from then I turned econ into a minor so that I can focus on graduating with my bachelor's in ITI and my Master's of Information within 5 years. For the concentration I chose, they gave us a couple of them and they told us to choose one. I ended up choosing two, so I double concentrated. I did data science and something called TIM, or Technology, Information, and Management. So that's basically the path that I ended up completing at Rutgers in the 5 years. And throughout undergrad, my freshman, sophomore, and junior year primarily, I worked for the Rutgers OIT, in the data center, which is actually in the basement of Hill Center on Bush campus. I was a data center operator. So that was kind of my first taste of what it's like to be in the, not only the data world, but also network engineering. My senior year, I actually interned for a company called Telco Experts. They're a New York City-based network engineering company. And I worked there my 5th year. So the year that I was focusing on the master's degree specifically. Close to the end of the internship, I was offered a full-time position as a network engineer. And so I took their offer and I worked for them a bit. Right upon completion of the master's, or as I was approaching graduation time of the 5th year, I applied and was given an offer to Panasonic North American headquarters. That's in Newark, New Jersey. So I work in a data science team as a logistics reporting analyst. I started in April. And because of what's going on with the pandemic, I've actually only been in the office twice, and that was for the 4 interviews that I completed. So all my work so far from April when I started to now has been from home. You know, I call my home their remote headquarters.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the background on my career path and my educational path. As far as the actual role that I'm in right now, like I said, my title is logistics reporting analyst. And some of my primary duties include overseeing a team of analysts to collect massive quantities of data. And we use that data to produce several reports for various Panasonic business units. Another thing that we do is we develop KPIs, or key performance indicators, to predict things like sales numbers and various progress points for all the business units of Panasonic. Another thing that my role requires me to do is to act sort of as a liaison or a middleman between several outsourcers and Panasonic. And that basically is, you know, researching where should we fund materials and where should completed products go out to. We also analyze historical data and draw business strategies from a logistics perspective specifically. So that can be as broad as what country should these completed goods go to, what quantities should they go in, or it could be as specific as what port should this container land in. So that's kind of like the on-paper responsibilities and duties of the role. But some of the skills that I can extract from these experiences that I find myself using day to day would include obviously the basics like Excel and, you know, various Microsoft suites, and just being able to use a computer and navigate through the Windows and Mac platforms. But also there's a little bit more in-depth skills required. Some of those include SSRS, Power BI. There's a lot of SQL coding, critical thinking, obviously, research skills, which is something that I'm working on now, and I find that it's not very popular or spoken upon in the field, and obviously data analysis. So I kind of looked at these skills that I find myself using day to day, and in preparation for this discussion, I looked for what courses that I take at Rutgers that I think I got these skills from, or I can draw parallels to. And there's a couple that I thought of. The first and probably the most relevant being fundamentals of data science. Another would be data analytics. There's also database design and management, problem solving with data, and information visualization. Information visualization I actually took twice. I took it in the undergrad program with ITI, and I also took the master's level course. And I think that that was, a great benefit for my career. So that's kind of the role that I'm in, the skills that it takes, and kind of how Rutgers, ITI, and the master's program shaped me into the role that I'm in today. As far as advice, if I can give myself advice, go back in time, or if I can give other students that are in the shoes that I was once in, I'd say don't box yourself in so much, right? There were a lot of unforeseen circumstances that maybe, things went different than how I planned. A couple of them include my change from planning to major in computer science to ITI. Then I chose to double major ITI and econ. From there, ITI and econ turned into ITI with an econ minor, and I got into the master's program. I was in the network engineering field when I did my internship, and I took a role with them for a year. And now I'm in a completely different field in the data science realm. And also just the shift in my preferences, right? So my internship and my first full-time role, which I took while I was still a senior at, fifth year at Rutgers, I was working for a mom and pop type of business. It was a very small organization. There were about 30 of us. And now I'm working for, one of the largest tech industry companies in a headquarters corporate setting. And so, if I could tell myself back then, it's the experiences that are going to choose me rather than me choosing the experience, I think that there would have been a lot of lost sleep, that I would have found then. And that's really the advice I got. Just don't box yourself in and kind of let the experiences shape who you are.
Thank you so much, Shady. This was fantastic. I think you helped us really understand your current job role and your experiences and what led to it and your learning. So I'm really appreciative of you sharing all of this with us. If you want to reach out to Shady via LinkedIn, feel free to do so. If you have any more questions, let us know. We're here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Appreciate it.